Hey guys. Okay, so we're gonna get right into it because today's live video is so good. I cannot wait for you to get this knowledge and to hear about this incredible woman. So, welcome back to Deleted History. Now, first off, picture this: a black woman in a long, plain dress standing in front of a rundown house by the Florida Railroad tracks. Behind her, I want you to picture a heap of trash. In front of her, I want you to picture five little black girls sitting on wooden crates like they're thrones. She has $1.50 in her pocket. No investors, no grants, no coaches, no blueprint. But she looks at those five girls and decides, we are not waiting on anybody's permission. Y'all, that woman is Mary McLeod Bethune. And from that little room by the dump, she built a school that will become a university led by one of the largest black women's organizations in the country. She advised presidents and became the first black woman to head a federal agency. If you think black women selling knowledge, running coaching businesses, and building consulting firms is new, Mary had already ran that play over 100 years ago when the Klan was literally marching on her school trying to shut it down. And today, in 2026, while you're trying to build a six or maybe even a seven-figure business in a world that is still underestimating you, her story is not just history, but it is a business masterclass. So welcome back to day 12 of Deleted History, 12 black women they prayed you'd never learn about. Now, I want to get into Mary's story because she was born in 1875 in South Carolina, the 15th of 17 children, the first in her family born free. Drop in the comments what you're the first in your family to do. By 9 years old, she could pick 250 pounds of cotton a day, but was more interested in books than bales. She got a scholarship to school, tried to become a missionary overseas, and was told no because she was black. So she said, fine, I'll build my mission right here, and turned her attention to educating black children and especially black girls in the South. Fast forward to 1904. She moves to Daytona, Florida. There's no school for black girls. No one is coming to save them. So she rents that little house near the dump, sets up crates as desks, and opens the Daytona Educational and Industrial Training School for Negro girls with 5 students and 50 cents a week in tuition. Now listen to how she sold this vision, because this is a business principle number one. Number one lesson you can learn from her and apply to your business. If you're ready, comment ready in the comments. I want you to sell what you have, not what you wish you had. Sell what you have, not what you wish you had. Mary did not have a marketing budget. She had recipes and relationships. She baked sweet potato pies and homemade ice creams and sold them to railroad workers and tourists to fund the school. She formed a student choir, took them around town, and turned performances into fundraising events. Then she herself would knock on doors, literally asking person after person for donations. So, and she did so with so much conviction, y'all, that even when people said no, she smiled and kept going, saying she refused to be discouraged. That's sales. That's offer creation. That's lead generation. How many doors are you knocking on today? Are y'all asking people to actually work with you, or are you just sitting around hoping you make sales? Or worse yet, doing nothing because of your feelings? Don't get me started. She didn't wait for everything to look professional. She asked to be paid and or for donation. She took what she could do: teach, bake, lead, inspire, and packaged it as value for the people around her. Here's a business principle that I want you to implement. Stop waiting for the perfect website, the perfect brand shoot, the perfect certification. Package what you have right now and put it in front of people who need it. Here's the second business lesson. Your classroom can be your coaching or consulting business. Mary wasn't just teaching, reading, and writing. Her curriculum was actually a coaching container in the making. In the early days, her school was for girls, but she was also running an adult literacy class at night so parents and community members could learn to read, vote, and participate in democracy. She understood that skills without voice would not be enough. She wanted her students to leave with the mindset and confidence to actually change their communities, not just get jobs. This is what you do when you're running a serious business. You're not just transferring information, you're transferring identity. Are y'all catching that? If you're picking up what I'm putting down, baby, put waitlist in the comments, okay? Because this is the kind of information we need to go to the next level, and the business principles that we're touching on are just hitting the surface. But at Black Women Sell Live, we're going to get to go a little deeper. If you don't know what that is, comment waitlist and I'll send you the link to get on the waitlist because, baby, we not playing no games. Mary literally used education as a way to build a pipeline of Black teachers, organizers, and lobbyists who could go into school boards, city councils, state legislatures, and say, we can swing this election because our people are organized. Now, peep this. Not only was she teaching adult literacy classes because it was needed and to help the community, she was literally building people that could actually have the skill set that she needed to run her business. Sometimes your business is so unique or there is such a gap in the workforce that you need to actually create the people that are going to run your company. Don't be afraid to teach. If you've ever hosted a group program, a mastermind, or a membership, that's a direct descendant of what Black women like Bethune were already doing, gathering people, teaching them, and then mobilizing them for real world change. Here's the third principle. I want you to build infrastructure, not just influence. I don't know how we got into the influencer generation. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's bad because some people will say that I'm an influencer. I am influential, but I don't work as an influencer, but that's neither here nor there. By 1920, here's what I'll say about it. I'm gonna back up. I think we care too much about likes, follows, and how things look, and we don't care enough about mission, impact, and how things feel. And not how things feel like to us personally, but the intent of the messaging that we're putting out into the world. Like, how is that messaging either making people better or making people worse? Because we care more about influence than impact, a lot of people are putting out harmful, toxic, debilitating messages with no thought as to how that messages will land on the actual people that they're putting it out for. It's a problem. Anyways, I'm so glad that there are women who did not stop at influence alone, but also cared about impact too. So by 1920, her school had grown from 5 students to hundreds and became one of the largest schools for Black girls in the country. In 1923, it merged with a boys' school, and by 1930s, it reached college status as Bethune-Cookman College, with Mary as president. She was the first Black woman college president in the United States. But she wasn't done. I want you all to understand that there are some people who are looking to like stop. Like they're like, I'm slowing down, I'm doing well, I'm not gonna do anything else. And I think that's a very individualistic mindset. When I look at the people who inspire me, who motivate me, who make me wanna go further, they didn't just do one thing, they had their hands in multiple things, but they did everything with the same mission. So the mission drove them, not the vehicle. And I think that we are too tied to vehicles, not tied enough to mission. She then went on to found, after doing all of this, went on to found the National Council of Negro Women in 1935 to unify Black women's organizations and give them a national platform. Her Washington, D.C. home became a strategy hub where Black women leaders gathered to plan voting drives, policy campaigns, and civil rights work. This is literally infrastructure. This is what infrastructure looks like. This is how you go from I'm passionate about helping people to I built an institution that outlives me. And I think that that's the legacy play that a lot of people talk about, but we don't see a lot of people implementing. So here's my question for you. Are you collecting followers, or are you building systems, programs, and institutions that can work when you are and aren't in the room? Influence is good, but infrastructure is actual legacy. Here's principle number 4, and this is a big one. Somebody drop a 4 in the comments for me so I know y'all are with me. Use every room you're invited into for us. Mary didn't stop at her campus. She walked her way into the White House. She advised multiple presidents, and under Franklin Roosevelt became director of the Division of Negro Affairs in the National Youth Administration. She was the first Black woman to head a federal division. She helped design programs that provide trainings and jobs for hundreds and hundreds of Black people. She was a core part of the Black Cabinet, the group of Black advisors pushing the New Deal to include Black communities. And in 1945, she attended the founding conference of the United Nations as the only Black woman connected to the U.S. delegation. She represented the NAACP and insisted that global human rights include Black Americans. When she walked into these rooms, she wasn't there to be grateful and quiet. Let me say it again. She wasn't there to be grateful and quiet. She was there as a strategist, a negotiator, and a closer for her people. For you, that might look like walking into corporate contracts as the expert, not being labeled as the diversity hire who's scared to actually speak up for diversity, negotiating brand deals from a place of authority, and then using that money to actually help your community, sitting on boards and actually speaking up about how decisions impact Black communities. You are not in these rooms by accident. You're in these rooms because somebody like Mary built a ladder that you're now able to stand on. So the part that's still the same today is this. Let's talk about what hasn't changed, okay? Mary faced the Klan marching on her school. She faced smear campaigns, funding threats, and constant disrespect. Historians show that while her institution managed million-dollar budgets, she was constantly struggling because she gave so much of her personal finances back into what she loved and what she built and her mission. She did all of this as a Black woman in a country that did not see her as fully human, yet she kept building. And I want you to know, there are some of you who have slowed down your build because you feel like there's so much going on. You've slowed down your build because you feel like the times are too tough. That is not what we do. It's not. It's just not in our blood. Today, in 2026, you don't have the Klan at your door, but you do have investors doubting your numbers. You do have clients asking for discounts they'd never ask your white counterparts, failing to pay you while still, which is a form of disrespect, let's be clear, and then pretending that it's okay because they do not respect people who look like them. That's a problem. You have rooms that clap for your story but hesitate to cut the check. That's a problem. There are business principles that anybody can teach you. You can learn how to price from anybody. You can learn how to build a funnel from anybody. You can learn how to write an email sequence from anybody. But what they cannot teach you if they have not lived it is this: how to sell while being underestimated, how to show up as a Black woman leader when every stereotype says do it alone and tone it down, how to keep going when discrimination is not theoretical. It's in your inbox, your contracts, your comments, and how your clients treat you. That's why this isn't just about theory, it's about lineage. That's why I created Deleted History, 28 women they prayed you'd never learn about. Because the playbook that you need is not new, it's just been buried. Mary Bethune was running a school, a movement, and funding a machine before there was Instagram. I've spent the last 8 years leaving a very successful legal career and a thriving law firm to dedicate myself fully to teaching Black women how to sell their expertise with power, integrity, and strategy, because this is survival and legacy for us, just like it was for her. When I talk about making over $1 million in today's money from the knowledge that God gave me, that's not flexing. That's proof that when Black women package their expertise and build infrastructure, we can change our bloodlines. It's a shame that only 2% of Black women business owners in 2026 do $1 million. Less than 2%. It's not okay. It's not okay, and we have dedicated our company's mission to helping to change that. And if Mary can turn $1.50, 5 students, and homemade sweet potato pies into a university, a national council, and a seat at the United Nations table, what could you build if you had a clear offer rooted in your real expertise, a sales system that didn't require you to shrink yourself, community with women who understand being brilliant, Black, and underestimated and are still choosing to build? You think you need more this and you need more that. What you need is to understand what your true identity is. If you don't understand that, it's going to be very, very difficult for you. It's going to be hard. And you probably feel that. You need a mindset shift. You need to stop hanging around people that let you make more excuses than ideas. You need to stop hanging around people that let your ideas stay high in the sky instead of putting them on paper. You need massive execution. I really want every Black woman leader to hear me on this. You have to move faster. You have to stop letting the mental gymnastics stop you from getting after it. And if you don't, the actual goal that is buried within your thoughts, your ideas, your mind, and your business will stay buried. But Mary did not make history by staying still, by staying quiet, by staying stuck, that letting fear lead her. And she had physical fear of Klansmen trying to stop her and still kept going. I study 3 things, and I tell my clients this all the time. I study history so that I can know where I come from and know who I am. And I study scripture so that I don't get too pissed off about the history that I start treating people the way they treated us. And then I study science because I know that neurologically there is a way that my brain works. And if I understand it, then I can control it and stop letting my thoughts run amok and control me. I recommend that if you are someone who is constantly overthinking, constantly frustrated, you struggle with self-esteem, you struggle with self-identity, you let Instagram and reality shows and all this nonsense tell you who you are, you struggle with your story because your parents weren't there or you didn't feel respected, I recommend you develop a new narrative of your past that fuels your future. I recommend that you don't allow the women that we have studied over the last 12 days and all of their work to be in vain because you have decided to live in a lower identity than the one that our history gave us. That you have decided to look at our history selectively and end it at slavery and not look at it as the entrepreneurs, the educators, the government advisors, the officials that we are. This country is just as much built on our brilliance as anyone else's. I will not let anyone make me feel uncomfortable in a country that my ancestors built. If I decide to go out the country and to leave America, that is my choice, but I will not be run out. I will not be kicked out. And every single day, you let people make you think you are less than because you are a Black woman, that you can't do it because you are a Black woman, that it's too hard right now. You keep repeating a narrative that makes you feel small and stuck and insignificant. Then you will live beneath your brilliance. And it's not just unfortunate for you. It's unfortunate for all the people who could actually learn from what you have to offer. And we're done with that. Like, we've already determined that we're done with that. I'm so over pretending I ain't it that I ain't doing it no more. Like, when you read this history and you really get into all the stuff that our women overcame and our men overcame, and you start to realize that everything that we have is because of everything that they did, and that even today they set us up for a more successful future in such a real and tangible way. And when they handed us the baton, we have an obligation to hand that baton over. And you realize that us sharing information with one another was always the play because no one else would literally give it to us. And there was a reason why there's something particularly sacred and special about women sharing information with other women. And if we could get over negative stereotypes, we could realize that we have always been our own solution and we have always been our own platform. And yes, other people have helped, but that did not come until we started to look to each other and help ourselves. So if you into that kind of thing, I invite you very assertively, very confidently to join me at Black Women Sell Live, because that's what we're about. We're about scaling with other sisters. And the truth is that the level of specificity with which we teach you sales is unlike anything that you've seen anywhere else. And I know that because I've seen the hundreds of testimonials. If you Google Speak Your Way to Cash testimonials, 243 or so will come up. You can read all of those and see how we get down. But even beyond those, I have heard the thousands of stories and gotten the thousands of emails from our customers and our clients. This is our third event. It's not our first time. We're a safe bet. We've been doing this a long time. I've been doing events since 2018. This is probably my, 30th live event if I were to count them all up. But it's our third Black Women Sell Live. And I want you there. The theme this year is the original innovators, because we've been doing this. A lot of you are starting from scratch, not realizing that our ancestors already started. So we don't have to start from scratch. We could start from there. We could start from where they set us up for. Check this out and join me at Black Women Sell Live. Mary Ellen Pleasant. How did she do it? Oh, I wish I could just screw myself. Mary Ellen Pleasant? This can't be real.
Real or not, you've been carrying quite the load.
You see, wealth isn't always about what you keep. It's what you connect.
Ida B. Well?
When I wrote, I didn't just report, I revealed.
Right on time.
So it wasn't luck. It was strategy. We have always been so innovative.
You're not starting something new, you're continuing something sacred.
I want to teach every Black woman business owner in the world about it.
When I started this company, it wasn't just about selling hair care. It was about dignity, independence, community. That's what real marketing does. It doesn't just sell, it lives.
See, a true sale is not made in the pocket, it's made in the heart. Now, you go on and sell live, not for the applause, but for the impact.
Y'all, the vibes are vibing. The vibes are vibing. It's going to be a great event. I want to see you there. I want to see you there. Comment wait list right now. Get on the wait list. Shout out to all our new followers. If you have not been here, my name is Ashley Kirkwood. I have done over $11 million in lifetime sales in my business. And now we help experts, licensed and professional services providers to grow their companies and sell more services while living more life. I recently took a 40-day no work sabbatical with my family, traveling around the world in complete luxury. And we have done that for the past 3 years because I believe in prioritizing your life as well as scaling a business. And you really can do both. I am a happy entrepreneur. I am not miserable. I love my life. I love my husband. I have a wonderful marriage. And I don't say that because I am bragging. I say that because I want you to know that if you come to the event, you're not going to be learning how to be a miserable, give everything while keeping nothing for yourself entrepreneur. You're going to learn how to give and serve from your overflow and abundance, and to do it in a way that honors God, honors your family and your commitments, and also honors your desires to yourself. I believe women should have a big, beautiful life, one that they don't have to recover from. And I want you to have that. Join me at Black Women Sell Live. It ain't just going to be me neither. We just had a contract signed for a Black woman billionaire to come and speak. So, I'll be talking about that real soon. It's just so different. I don't know. If you don't trust me, then I don't know. You just have to see for yourself. You'll see it. You'll see it. You'll hear about it. You'll hear about it. But I don't want you to miss your chance to get a ticket. We have over 700 women on the wait list last I checked. So I recommend you get on that wait list today, baby, because it's filling up. Okay? It's filling up. I will see you at Black Women Sell Live. Y'all get your life together. If you missed the first part of this video, please go back and watch it. It is so good. I love this story. I love this sister. And I love y'all. I just want to say I love us. I will always love us. I want us to do well. I said this yesterday on live. This is the year we lose inches, not sleep, baby. My Oura ring says I'm doing real good on my sleep this year, and I'm just happy about it. So I will see y'all tomorrow for day 13 of this series. See you then.